going on, everybody? Welcome to the Detroit Fan Report and the NFL Draft Show. I am the New Breed 313 Sports, and I want to welcome you guys to everybody that is on the panel, starting with Gridiron.
All right. Guys, I am so happy to be here today. So happy to be here every time we talk. Once again, you can always find me on Twitter at GG3BetsFantasy. As you can see, we have a really special guest today, and I'm going to keep it short because I'm ready to move on. Let's get to it.
Yes, sir.
Hi, you can always find me on Detroit Fan Report. Thank you once again, Mr. Kirkland, for joining us today. We do have a special guest, so that's going to be great. You can always find me on X or Twitter at Crazy Hockey Fan. You can also find me on Instagram at OnePrideNation_24.
You're muted, sir. You're muted, sir.
Bandit. Can't hear you, Bandit.
I'm nervous. My bad. I'm nervous. So no. Y'all know what it is. I'm the host of the show, man. I'm just doing the background work right now. I'm a host later on, you feel me? But it's your boy, Bandit. Y'all know where y'all find me. Detroit Fan Report, you feel me? Do us a favor. Go to YouTube and hit that subscribe button. And without further ado, Steve, gonna let you introduce what we got on the show.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, Bandit. Well, we got a special guest in the building. We got a, all pro, first team 97, second team 96, two-time Pro Bowler, alumni linebacker of the year, a 90s all-decade team, consistent All-American in 91, second team in 90, two-time first team All-ACC, second team All-ACC in 89. Ladies and gentlemen, all pro, one of the greatest ever, Mr. LeVon Kirkland is in the building.
Oh, man, thank you so much for those kind words.
Yes, sir.
I really appreciate it. I'll get your money later. Yes.
We'll do IOUs for sure.
Yeah, okay, that sounds good. I cash app you.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
My bad, Rich. I forgot Rich was in the background. Go ahead, Rich. Introduce yourself, Rich.
Sorry about that, y'all. I had to
hear you
restart
too.
my computer. I had microphone problems. Rich May, catch me on X at Riggs928. Appreciate you joining us, Mr. Kirkland.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, this is the part of the show where I'm gonna take over. Where I'm gonna let the panel go around and ask Mr. Kirkland a couple of questions. You feel me? Starting with Mr. Pittsburgh Steelers, his fans. Biggest Pittsburgh Steelers fan over here. Gridiron.
All right. So, first of all, once again, thank you, Mr. Kirkland. I know I am very young. I was born 95, so I am only 30. Wow. So, yeah, I know. The hair ran away real quick. Let me tell you what.
It does that.
Talk about my hairline.
Yeah, we don't. Bandit's got a hat on for a reason, right? So I got a wife. So who am I trying to impress? Here we go.
Right, exactly.
So I didn't get to see you play, unfortunately. Although my mother is a huge Steeler fan, my father's a Dallas fan, so I grew up with that head-to-head in my life. Obviously, I picked the good side, being a Steeler fan here. And, so I didn't get a chance to watch you play. Obviously, highlight videos are everywhere. YouTube is a thing. But I'm not really into the whole mainstream thing. My questions go a little bit deeper.
Okay.
Was there a moment in your maybe rookie career, maybe it could have been the draft process that you said that it was like a welcome to the NFL rookie kind of moment? Did you have something that sticks out to you that you were like, oh man, either it could be good or bad. It could be a hasty moment, or it could be a, wow, I really made it. Like this is really happening kind of thing.
Usually when people talk about welcome moments, it's usually when you get roughed up or something.
Humble.
Normally.
Yes.
So I do have one of those stories where we're actually playing Minnesota in Minnesota, and it's my second year, but I'm named as starter. And it's a preseason game, and Randall McDaniel, do you guys remember Randall McDaniel?
I do.
Guard.
All
Yes,
pro.
sir.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, he had a really funny stance.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Okay. So it's about. I think it's like maybe second quarter, and the starters are about to come out. And I'm thinking like, yeah, man, this last series, and I'm out of here. So they run a screen. I see the screen. I go up there, and I mean, I'm not that thrilled about making a tackle or anything. I'm just trying to get off the field so I can be injury free and watch the rest of the preseason game. Man, he lit me up so bad that if you ever watch Superman cartoons or Superman when he flies back and
Mm-hmm.
his arms are up and his legs are going the same way, that was me. And I might have bounced off the turf about 3 times. And once I came to, I was like, oh, that's how they do it. That's how aggressive you got to be.
Yeah,
So from that moment, I understood that I was going to be more aggressive than the other guy.
gotcha.
So he actually taught me a lesson of playing in the NFL. So yeah, that was my welcome to the NFL moment.
That's the difference between an all pro and a not all pro. You learn your lessons and you don't do it again, right?
Right. You learn. Unfortunately, I had to learn from my experience, but a lot of times you want to learn from others.
Hmm.
But I learned a lesson though. I got it after that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely. And
I
then,
got it. So.
I guess my second question would be the flip side of that. What is there? Is there one play that you remember reading the play, seeing it before it happened, just knowing exactly film studies, seeing it and executing and making that play? Is there any play that you could think of that sticks to the top of your head?
Oh yeah. The very next year, my third year, we were playing the Miami Dolphins, the great Dan Marino,
Mhm.
and they come out in an I formation, a 21 personnel, which means two backs, one tight end, which I know you guys know.
Mm-hmm.
And as an inside backer or a middle linebacker, you become a little bit more aware of body language and what people are trying to do.
Mhm.
So you become very observant and you kind of look at body language or whatever. So Dan Marino comes out, and usually most of the time the quarterback would say where's the strength or where's the strong side, inside backer or middle backer. And so he kind of looks at me though, and I'm that guy. He looks at me, and I see him looking at Keith Jackson, and Keith Jackson looking at him,
Keith
and I'm
Jackson.
like, they're gonna try me. They're
Mhm.
gonna try a play action pass right here. They're gonna try to hit him down the middle. They're gonna try to get me to fake up. They're gonna try to play action pass, which will get me to come up and have Keith Jackson run down the hashes. But what I did was I backed up about 1 yard. I didn't fall for the fake, so they did it exactly what I thought. It was a play action pass. I look at Keith Jackson out of the corner of my eye. I see him running down the seam, and I just kind of what we call roll with him. And I'm in his hip pocket.
Mhm.
And I guess Dan Marino didn't think that I'd be able to make the play, but I was way more athletic than my size indicated. And
Yeah,
so what I did was he threw the ball. I picked it off, man. It was one of the sweetest picks ever because it was Dan Marino.
absolutely. Of
So
course.
yeah, that was one time when I saw one of many times that I actually saw the play, understood what was going to happen before it happened, and made the play.
Yeah, I know when you started saying there are tells, the first thing I thought of being a former offensive lineman, through high school and everything, the one thing was you want to line up the exact same way. If you're pulling, you don't want to lean like
Right?
left
Yeah.
guard, and they're leaning back a little bit. You could tell they're going to go. It's kind of giving you tell. There are so many tells, and eyes are huge. Yeah, awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Well, they didn't really give it away. I just saw him looking at Keith Jackson,
Yeah.
and I was like, "Oh, okay. They're trying to get me."
Mm-hmm.
And and that's really from understanding the game a little bit more. You take it to the next level when you not only know what you're doing, but you know what the opponent is doing. And
Yeah.
like I said, body language, just like in anything, it doesn't lie.
Mm-hmm.
People tell lies all the time with their mouths,
Yeah.
but body
Ain't that the
language
truth?
does not
Ain't
lie.
that the truth?
That's one thing. If you being, I coached a couple years and everything like that. It's different out there. You have to be hyper aware of everything. You have to be looking at your players, their players, the other sideline. If there start coming on the other sideline, people start running in and out of the game. Something might be coming right here. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
All kinds of tells,
But then the other side of it, you have to play what's happening now.
Yeah.
You can't get too caught up in every formation or whatever, because they may not run it. And then the players are also different too. You can, I always tell people it works and it doesn't work. It all works and it all doesn't work. So I can draw a play on the board and like, oh, this would be perfect. Yeah. But then you get in the game and you're playing against Barry Sanders, you can throw that thing out the window.
Right.
Yeah. That's mama, there goes that man. That's what it is.
Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that little deep dive into not only your head, but just the play itself. That was awesome. Thank you.
No problem. Yeah.
Chris.
All right, Mr. Kirkland, thank you for being on the show today. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Unlike Ray, I am the polar opposite in age. I am literally only 2 years younger than you. I'll be 50, I'll be 54 this year. So I'm
young man.
Yeah. So I have a bunch of questions I was tossing up in the air, which would be bad. I'm more traditional. I'm not going to ask you a deep dive on, but what did you enjoy the most about playing in the NFL? What was the most enjoyable thing about it?
Besides the paycheck you get every other Monday?
I am
yes, Lord.
That can be the
I'm going to tell you what I enjoyed the most.
Mm-hmm.
It was the locker room and the players. And I always say this, if you get an opportunity to play with great players, which most players do, you're going to have a great player or two on your team. But I had a lot of great players. And for me, we had guys that were really good examples of how to be professionals. And nobody really tells you how to be a professional. We didn't have holistic development when I was in college. So when you got there, you better learn the ropes really quickly. And I was fortunate enough to be in a good organization with some really good players. And don't let anybody tell you differently. Man, it's the players that are surrounding you that makes you better. It's the atmosphere. So Pittsburgh just had a tremendous atmosphere, and I blossomed in it because I had great players around me. And that's what I liked about it. Like winning and having those players and just having that kind of fun. And we had a lot of fun while I played.
That's awesome. Yeah. I have a boss that he had a good quote. He said, show me your friends and I'll show you your future. And that was
no question.
That is a big deal. Whoever you surround yourself with, that's going to be how your career or how your life goes. So, yeah. So my other question is kind of a two-parter, trying to sneak in this, but it's what do you consider your biggest achievement in your career, in your life?
Ooh, gosh. I'll go with career. I would have to say making my first Pro Bowl. And there's a story that goes behind that. We played in the Super Bowl the year before I went to the Pro Bowl. And what's his name? God, I'm drawing a blank here. Matt Millen. Sorry. Matt Millen, before that Super Bowl, he got word to me like, he really encouraged me. And he was just like, man, you're seeing the right things, but you're not trusting it. Trust your eyes tonight. And it was an aha moment for me to trust my eyes. And I went in that Super Bowl game, had a pretty good game, 10 tackles, a sack. We really limit Emmitt Smith as far as running the ball is concerned. We threw 2 interceptions that probably cost us the game. But we played Dallas we played a really good game. But the next the following week, Greg Lowe invites me to the Pro Bowl, and I go to the Pro Bowl, but I feel like I can't talk to these guys because these guys are Pro Bowlers. I'm not, but I told myself that just overlooking the horizon, that next year I'm gonna be here as a player. And I started, when I went back to training, I started preparing myself and seeing myself as a Pro Bowl player. And at the end of the year, I made a Pro Bowl just because I kind of embraced that role. I was like, I'm gonna be a Pro Bowl player, and instead of me saying I'm gonna be one, I kind of like, let's be one. What would a Pro Bowl player do in these situations? How would a Pro Bowl player practice? And that year, I took up that moniker, and it worked for me.
So
So
based,
that's one of my career. I think my life, man, is probably seeing the birth of both of my kids. That was probably the best thing. Getting married. I'm now widowed, but was married for 11 years before my wife passed away. And seeing now my son is going to Clemson, not as a football player, but he's getting his MBA. Seeing my daughter, this will be her last year in college. So, yeah, being able to see those two kids grow up and be pretty decent people.
that and I agree with you. So what I hear is like you took a lot of your experiences from those Pro Bowl players and you applied them. You just didn't say, "Cool, I'm going to do what they did." No, you literally said like, "Hey, I'm going to put myself in a position. How would I think if those guys were there?" It's like
Right.
and I'll tell you, a lot of players, and I'm hoping they take away a lot of stuff that they do nowadays from the older players. I mean, you have to look, just because you great and everything like that. You're only as good as the information that you process and that you absorb from other people. So,
Right.
when these rookies come into to play, they can't just. I mean, you can talk the talk, but you can't walk the walk without the information that's being presented. How well are you at absorbing the information that is coming from other players? So,
I thought I was pretty good at doing that. We didn't have all the technology that
mhm.
guys have now. I would recommend any rookie that's going into the NFL or really any professional league. I would say make sure that you look at the Hall of Fame speeches, that you watch the Hall of Fame, if that's the kind of player you want to be, because those guys give out a lot of information of how they got to it. And a lot of the stories are great stories. They're not just, he was a great player, 5-star, then he went to college, became an All American, then he went to the pros, became a Pro Bowler, a Hall of Famer. That road to success is not just straight. A lot of times it's windy, upside down.
Mhm.
It's a lot of things. I would suggest that most players would look at the guys who are getting into the Hall of Fame of their respective sport. And I think that's a great way to learn from players that have been tremendous players in the league.
Awesome, yeah. And to acknowledge your family and their accomplishments, that's great. And hey, I mean, I have a daughter too that just got accepted to go to SCAD. It's Savannah College of Art and Design. And so
Mm-hmm.
she's going this fall for a freshman
It's a
year.
really good school. Yes.
You've heard of this school?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yep. She'll be, her freshman year will be this August. So can't wait. So proud of her. So hopefully
Good man.
she'll do well.
Yeah, she will.
Awesome. Thank you very much for your time, sir.
No problem.
Mr. Michigan man himself.
How you doing, Mr. Kirkland?
I'm
Thank
doing
you for
well.
your
How
time.
about you?
I'm good, thank you. So, I got a couple questions. One,
Mhm.
if you were still playing today, would you like to play for Dan Campbell?
That's
Would I
my
like to
boy,
play for Dan
Rich.
Campbell?
That's a good question.
Yeah, because when he first got into it, people thought I was crazy, but I said that he reminded me a lot of Bill Cowher. at the time because, and I'm going to tell you the reason why, because he can relate to the players because he was a player, so he understands that side of it. I think sometimes people miss out on how important it could be. He does a very good job of articulating his his way, his philosophy, the way he wants his football team to play, and you can tell that he cares about the players in a league that chews players up and spit them out. And I really believe that's why they play so hard for him. Because he's a real deal. He was a guy that played in the league. He understands it. And I think that those guys, I think that he reminds me a lot of Bill Cowher and what Bill Cowher did when I first got in the league. So, yeah, that kind of coach with that kind of passion, that's authentic, that shows it, players are going to play for him. And so, yeah, there's no question I'd play for him.
Yeah, that was one thing that I liked as a fan, because I'll be 42 next month, God willing, and so I did in fact watch you play.
Mm-hmm.
But when he got up there and said, I can give you the same old coach speak, but y'all tired of that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's good to do something different, and he's seen the 0 for 16 and, wanting to go there because, we were abysmal, right? Nobody wanted to come here. So, it's been a breath of fresh air to see him come in and do what he has done.
Yeah, no question about it. Like I said before, I think the players really buy into what he's selling. The coaching staff has done a good job of that. And, honestly, they've done a really good job of selecting players as well. Because at the end of the day, you got to have ball players to execute. You can be the biggest guru of all time, but if you don't have that quarterback who can make those throws, receivers who can catch the ball, running backs who can run, guys who can tackle on the other side, it's basically useless. And he does a good job of running that organization. And you got to tip your hat to what he's done with the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I mean, just real quick, just to piggyback off of what LeVon just said, I mean, he drafted Gibbs, Laporta, and Campbell all, and the media all said that he overdrafted every single one of them, and now all three of them are big contributors to that team. So,
yeah, I mean,
hell of a job.
you got to see what you see. I mean,
Exactly.
you can't listen to everybody else because it's just too much. It's too much noise.
Huh?
You got to see your player. You got to, he got a pop off stream. You got to like, man, that guy, he's a player. And you got to, if you believe in him, you got to fight for him. And it's not a exact science. You may not get it right, but I think a lot of times you go off your heart and what you think that player can bring to your organization. A lot of times you're more right than wrong.
I seen you or heard you mention Barry Sanders earlier. Did you ever play against him?
Oh yeah, I played against Barry. I think like twice.
How was that?
Scary. I mean, from my perspective, I mean, we were going to go in there and play against him, but Barry, he gave me a little bit of pause because he can do things that a lot of running backs couldn't do. And I mean, he was a home run guy, so he can take it 80 yards. Also, people would call him a small guy. I wouldn't say he was small. I would say he was probably short, but great size for a running back. Had great strength, great sense of gravity. He can do it all, man. And I mean, he had the juice. He had the feel for the game. He had the vision for the game. So your defense, it may be perfect, but he still can bust off 140 yards on you. So he was the guy that really just you had to be concerned about him. I'm not saying you're afraid of him. I wasn't afraid of him, but was I concerned? Yeah, good player. He'll make you look bad.
So was the game plan against him different than other running backs?
Yeah. I mean, not only with the coaches but the players. Like, hey man, let's get around the ball. Let's make sure that we're all getting there because it's going to take all of us to make sure that he doesn't have a breakout game. And even when you did that, he still would juke out 7 guys and make a touchdown.
One of my
So
favorite highlights is when against the Bears when they had Mike Singletary and he got in that pile. I think it was like 7 of them, and he come right out the other side. That's got to be embarrassing as a player.
well, sometimes you got to give other players credit. It may be embarrassing, but you got to be like, okay, yeah, man, that dude can play. I remember one time I played against Tony Gonzalez his rookie year, and they take him. He's running down the hash. I am in perfect, and I mean perfect coverage. And this was that time when they started bringing in guys who played college basketball, maybe forward or whatever like that, turn him into a tight end. And he went and got that ball. And I'm right there. He jumps up. And I come off the field and I look to the coaching staff. I'm like, I don't know what you want me to do about that. I mean, I can't cover him. I covered him. I can't out jump him though. And so I'm like, yeah, well, I don't know what you want me to do. And sometimes it's just like that. There are some players that are just so good. You're just like, wow. You kind of want their autograph afterwards, but we won't go there.
Steve,
Yeah, man.
go
I always, sorry about that, man. I just want to say, I enjoyed watching you, Kevin Green
Thank
and
you.
Greg Lloyd. And I always admired you because, like you said, you played the middle linebacker position very well for your size and very sneaky sideline to sideline. So thank you again for your time, sir.
I was clever. I was quick.
Breed, man. You can ask all the questions you want. Y'all.
So
man around here, Waldo. I'm just saying.
I can't say that. I can't say that. I can't say that.
Rich, he the man around here, ain't he, Waldo? I ain't Waldo the man.
Hey, he's like, where's Waldo? He be all over the place.
I just like to have fun and go into different games. That's how I am. First and foremost, I want to say thank you, Mr. Kirkland, for spending the time and being on the show. We really appreciate that.
No problem.
I've been watching your game for a while. I have so much respect. I love the way that you just crack down on these quarterbacks and just hurt them and do what you can. I take joy in that. That's old time football, and it need to go back to that. It really does.
Somewhat, yeah, that'll be nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But one question I have is there any quarterbacks that you took joy in just sacking and just ripping them apart?
Ooh.
When you was just like, I can't stand this guy, or if I hit him, I'ma just get him.
Yeah, it was really no guy that I just absolutely did not like. There was no guy like that, but I like getting to Jeff Blake. I don't know if you guys remember Jeff Blake, but he was quarterback with Cincinnati. Had a great deep ball. Wasn't really tall, really before his time, actually. I think if he was around today, he would definitely be first or second round pick. Mm-hmm. But I like getting on his skin because he kind of went back and forth a little bit. He kind of talked a little trash. And I remember one time we played Cincinnati, and they were up on us 21 points. He ran in the end zone, and I just pushed him. It was way late, too. I pushed him way late. And everybody got on me, but I'm like, I know what I'm doing. Getting in his head a little bit. Mm-hmm. And we actually ended up winning that game like 42-21 or something like that. But yeah, I like getting after Jeff Blake a little bit.
Okay. Now, another question I have is if there's like a Mount Rushmore in your position that you have, like any top 4, top 5 that's ever played the game, who would you pick?
I'm going to probably get somebody wrong here. But I think the great Junior Seau,
Mhm.
may he rest in peace. I think he was pioneer what he did. I think Ray Lewis is definitely another guy that I'll put up there. Oh man, there's so many great inside backers, but I'm gonna have to go with Mike Singletary. Just seems like the standard answer, or Dick Buckus. But I'm gonna tell you a guy I did like a lot. I put him up. I know people would dispute because he just went into the Hall of Fame. Luke Kuechly from Carolina Panthers,
Mhm.
Wonderful choice.
and then I think Derek Brooks is one of the best.
Mm. Hmm.
I think he was the best. And weak inside backer. I don't think you get better than him. So those would be my four. Two people that are automatically on there, and two people that you may have a discussion with. But I like those guys.
That's cool. That's cool.
Hmm.
It's my
But
turn.
that's just me coming from, because as a player, you see it from a different perspective. There's some guys that are on TV a lot, and there's some guys that they would market more. But sometimes as a player, you see other players and you understand what they bring to the game.
Is that kind of why the Pro Bowl voting meant so much to people back then, because it was voted on by your peers?
Yeah, because that meant you got the respect
Yeah.
of the real deal guys,
Because
the
I can
guys that
tell
seen you play. That you ask the team who's a good offensive lineman, and the guys say, "Hey, so and so," or they say, "Man, who's a good linebacker?" And they pick me. Man, that's an honor for
Yeah.
the players that played in the era that you played in. That's an honor, and I tell people this, man. Um, I might not be a Hall of Famer or anything like that, but every player that played in the '90s, they're very familiar of LeVon Kirkland and what he
Hmm.
did.
Yep.
So that's the thing.
Mr. Kirkland, it's coming. You're gonna go into that Hall of Fame. It's
Yes,
coming.
well,
sir.
It's
well, we'll
coming.
see. We'll see. It's all good though.
Yep. Now, Mr. Kirk, let me ask you this question real quick. If anybody um that's wants to go to a Steeler fan, that's a Steeler fan, or wants to go and see the Steelers play,
I'm about to
what?
say, be a coach Steelers fan. I'm about to say, what's going on, Steve?
No. I'm just saying,
Uh,
if you go to a game and you could
no, I'm just
describe the atmosphere of how the fans are and everything, like how would you describe that?
Oh man,
Please.
I would say in a few words that it's old school in a lot of ways. It's football from the past. They got that energy. They got that passion, and I mean, the stadium has a great. I mean, the landscape of the stadium, and what I mean by that, the bridges, the rivers. I mean, it just tells you all you need to know about Pittsburgh. And I really believe that football is such a blue collar sport. It's for the working man, and I think that players need to understand that we're giving our fans an opportunity to sit back and enjoy themselves and watch guys that are like them because you know most players they don't come from rich families or anything like that. They're blue collar as well. Most of them come from blue collar families,
Absolutely.
and we're giving back to each other. So I think if you go to a Pittsburgh game, you're going to understand and see the passion that the fan base has and why it's such a fabric in that community. It's Pittsburgh in a community. They're real big. They're real big. So yeah, you're going to have a great time. You're going to have a ball.
Thank you for asking that question. I don't know. I wasn't trying to be rude. I was holding up my arm because whenever you ask that question, I've seen 20 different teams, mostly in Pittsburgh. I try to go to games every year, and I got goosebumps. I mean, you can't fake goosebumps. Every time somebody asks you what's a game like, I put myself back to the 39-38 game, a 48-yard field goal, Boswell to win the AFC North. I put myself back to the Thursday night game against Cam Newton, the game where Ben screwed up his elbow against Seattle. I went to Big Ben's last home game. I mean, all of those things, when somebody asks, just rush through your brain. And like you said, I think as Pittsburgh fans, they do know that you guys are willing to put on a show for us. And I think the difference between, you know, some fans and other fans, not saying that Detroit does this because they are a great group of fans as well, but those Pittsburgh fans, they appreciate every single minute of football that happens in that dang stadium. And I know.
Oh yeah, look, they're paying good money for the entertainment. So you need to be. I think the cool thing about Pittsburgh, you took ownership because, you know, for us as linebackers, we had the Jack Hams, the Jack Lammerts, guys like that, the Eddie Russells. That if you walk in that building, man, if you playing linebacker, that's what they wanted it to be like. And I felt like, we didn't win Super Bowls or anything like that, but I really felt that we brought that energy back to Pittsburgh, those 90 teams, and that they saw great linebacker play that they saw in the 70s and also in the 80s as well, and what they've seen in the 2000s. But I thought we brought that spirit of defense back, that attitude that this is how you play as a Pittsburgh Steelers. So,
thank you.
Yep.
Appreciate it.
First of all, I'd like to say I appreciate you being on the show.
Oh, no problem.
I'm the host, creator, Bandit. Growing up in Ohio, mom was a Cleveland Browns fan.
Mm-hmm.
Stepdad is a
Oh man, that must have been tough.
Yeah, it really is. You have no idea. And then, like I said, my stepdad, he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. My question to you, first of all, for the city of Detroit, what up, though? You feel me? But what is the hardest person you ever hit? Hardest person you ever hit?
The hardest person I ever hit?
What's the hardest person you ever hit?
Are you meaning I hit somebody hard, or they
you lit them up?
Oh, I lit them up.
Because I was watching. I was going through your stuff today. You feel me? And I'm going through your highlights. Like you was a little show off. You feel me? I ain't gonna lie. Like you was lighting some stuff up. You feel me? Like
yeah. I tell you who I think it is, but you probably never seen the highlight. We're playing Baltimore Ravens, and Priest Holmes was back with the Ravens before he went to the Chiefs. And I was dropping off in my zone, it was cover 3, and he was coming from the other side, an angle route. And I was like baiting the quarterback, please throw it to him. Because I was acting like I didn't see him, but I saw him from my peripheral. And sure enough, Scott Mitchell, as soon as he let the ball off the laces.
Not Scotty.
Yeah, I came and I cleaned Priest Holmes up. I mean, I blasted him. Matter of fact, me and Priest Holmes saw each other a few years after that, after we finished playing. And he's like, Kirk, man, you hit me so hard. He said the next, when I caught the ball and I turned around, he said, only thing I saw was darkness. And that's the biggest compliment you can get. I just saw darkness after that. So, so that was probably my best hit. It never gets highlighted, but that was probably my best hit.
My second question for you was, being a Lions fan, never been to the Super Bowl before, but we on our way there.
Mm-hmm.
So, what was it like playing in the Super Bowl?
It's amazing. It's like you're the only show in the world, really. There's no other sporting event or no other television event or movie or anything like that matters on Super Bowl Sunday. Everybody watches the Super Bowl, whether you are a diehard fan, a casual fan, or the fan, a fan of the team that you really hate that's in the Super Bowl. You're gonna watch the Super Bowl, and
all eyes on me.
Yeah, more eyes on me. And it was one game that I had a really good game in. So that's when you want to play your best. And it was fantastic, man. I just had a good time. Only thing about us, we lost that game. I thought we had a chance to win. We should have won. But I think the experience is so good. But what you don't realize as a player is you may not get that opportunity ever again. You may not get an opportunity ever again. And I went, the first year I went, I think it was my fourth or fifth year. My fourth year. Yeah. And you're thinking you're going to get back, and you don't. It's a realization that I think that a lot of times you don't take in. So I would say as a player, Detroit, y'all get in there. I'm rooting for Detroit to get in there this year. Y'all get in there, man. Win that thing. I bet that place will go. I bet that city will go absolutely nuts.
You see how he was for the draft.
Yeah, it would be. It would be the apocalypse. I mean, there'd be chairs burning in the streets, everything, man. So,
I drove 3 hours with no license there and back to go to the draft.
oh yeah, man. Yeah, man. I don't think like they say,
Don't get pulled over.
school.
Don't get pulled over.
School is off for man. If y'all win, they should be like school is off for 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
2 weeks.
Question.
Yeah, at least 2 weeks.
Mhm.
No
Yeah,
question.
it make no sense to have school after you guys win the Super Bowl.
That's great.
So I hope y'all do it.
Like I said, I appreciate you being on the show so much.
No problem.
I'm gonna pick your brain a little bit. We're gonna go through division by division and pick who we think gonna be the division winners this year. So I'm gonna let everybody on the panel go through that. Starting off with I gotta do my hosting thing, but starting off with the who we think the NFC East gonna win, Mr. Kirkland. Then we just go you, Rich, Gridiron, and New Breed. My bad, Breed. I'm gonna let you go second. Breed, I'll go last.
You want me to go first?
Yes, sir.
Okay. I think it's going to be the Buffalo Bills. I think the Jets are the Jets, and they just lost a quarterback. And in the NFL nowadays, if you don't have a top gun quarterback, it's almost impossible to win the Super Bowl.
I hurt my heart. They got Justin Fields.
Still, yeah, like I said before.
Don't make him repeat himself, man.
You asked me to be on the show. You asked a question, and I give you the answer. You want me to repeat the answer? Come on. No, I get it. I just think Buffalo, at some point in time, it's gotta click for them. So I think they're going to be the ones that win in the East. I mean, you never know. It's the NFL. You never know, but I would say Buffalo.
I say the same thing. I think it's the Bills, and I also say it's a make it or break a year for the Bills too. They have to, if they don't get to a Super Bowl or win a Super Bowl, they got to break that team up. I really
the coaching staff,
everything. They have to. It's been too long. They've been in the same position, and then if they play Kansas City, they just cannot. Seem like they just can't get past them. It's always something. But I will say this though. I will say Buffalo is going to win, but I will say watch out for them Dolphins. This could be, make it a break a year for them too. You know what I'm saying? And then that's the only team I would say that's probably going to be second to them, because I think, the Jets is the Jets, and the Patriots are still learning. Even with all the guys that they picked up, I still don't think it's enough for them to even win the division. So that's still Buffalo, hands down.
So I'm gonna go with Buffalo, but Breed, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. My surprise team, the Patriots. I like Vrabel as a coach. I like what they did. And, man, Drake May, I think he's going to be one of those up-and-coming quarterbacks.
Great on.
All right. So, yeah, I'm with everybody else. I have the Bills. The rest of the division, I actually have the Dolphins finishing last with 6-11. I think they are desperate for a culture change because, I mean, I mean, a great play caller is nice and everything, but sometimes you just need somebody to come in like a Vrabel and change the culture and be some guy that these boys are going to take seriously. These men are going to take seriously, come in, play, and do and put their heart on the field for. I don't think McDaniel does that for everybody. I have them finishing 6-11, but the Bills I have 13-4. So yeah, I mean, I think it's a pretty easy. I think they start off with a loss against the Ravens, but after that, it's smooth sailing until they hit a rough patch against the Bucs in the middle of the season. I think the Bucs are going to be a juggernaut, but yeah, Bills are going. Patriots, I have at 7-10, as well as the Jets. All Dolphins, Jets, and Patriots all having a 2-4 division record. So I think it's a pretty much a hodgepodge. These teams are going to split at home. Maybe win on the road, but then lose at home. It's Bills all day. It's easy for me.
I got the Bills also. All right, next division, we're going to go X. Starting off with you, please. Who wins the NFC West? AFC West. Why say NFC? AFC West.
Wow. This is a tough one. Not really. No, I think I like the Broncos. I like what the Broncos are doing on defense. They're a pretty good defense. I like a little bit of flash from the quarterback, the guy from Knicks or Knicks. Is it Knicks or Knicks?
Bo Nix.
Bo Nix,
Knicks. Yeah. I like what he showed, but anybody can have a good year. Can you have a consistent career and another good year off of that? So I think that's the question mark with them. I think the Chargers, I think they can be in the mix a little bit. The Raiders, football is just not the same. I think it's ownership with the Raiders. I think it's a lack of stability with those guys. But I tell you what, the Raiders probably look the best coming out the tunnel. You can't beat the Raiders with that silver and black. They look good.
Mm-hmm.
And they have great players. They have talented players. They really do. But in football, in almost anything, any good business, it's got to be from the top to the bottom. And everybody has got to be on the same page. If you don't have that, you're just going to be average, or you're going to be below average. And that's what the Raiders are. So I'm going to go with the best organization, I think, in that division. And although they're slowing down a little bit, Kelsey is not as effective as he was. I really trust in Andy Reid and Mahomes. I trust in as long as those two guys are together, they got a shot. And Kansas City, they don't have a great defense, but nobody really has a great defense in the NFL anymore. You really can't play great defense in the NFL. So I will have to go in the AFC West with Kansas City Chiefs.
Three.
Same. I'm the same. I'm with the Chiefs, but I will say watch out for the Broncos and the Chargers. I think they coming.
Mm-hmm.
They coming. I like just like what Mr. Kirkland said. I like what Broncos is doing. They're an up and coming team. They have talent. They have a good defense. And the Chargers up and coming. It's just the thing with the Chargers. I just don't have trust in Justin Herbert. When it's all said and done, in it's big games, he folds. He folds every time. And that's what I'm worried about with the Chargers. They have a good defense themselves with Derwin James and those guys there. You know what I'm saying? They have an up and coming offense, but it's just I just with Herbert there, I don't trust it. But with Denver, I think with them being in the playoffs last year, that's going to give them a boost for this season. I think they're going to be right there with Kansas City, even though I think Kansas City is going to win. And the Raiders, we're just going to pray for the Raiders. we just going to pray for them.
Right.
We're going to pray for them. I'm going to pray for Brock Bowers. I'm going to pray for him. But it's Kansas City.
You got Gino. Pete Carroll. But no, I'm just playing.
Yes, they do. And we're going to pray for them.
Rich.
Yeah, I'm going to go with Kansas City, but I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City and the Chargers did what the Vikings and the Lions did last year.
Last game of the season.
Yeah, I don't know if they played the last game, but come down to the last because say what you will. Anywhere Harbaugh goes, and last year was his first year in the chart, he just wins. I mean, so I trust what he do, and I like Herbert, but and Lad McConaughey, I really liked what I seen from him last year. But like Mr. Kirkland said, now when you rookie, man, they got tape on you. Now you gotta keep the ball rolling.
Gridiron.
All right, yeah. So I'm pretty much on the same one here. This division's very competitive. It's similar to the AFC North in the fact that there are 3 front-runner teams. And then there's that one that we're just waiting for them to find something that's going to work. I'm going with the Chiefs. I got them at 12-5, and then I have the Broncos and Chargers at 10-7. Little sneak peek into my playoff picture later because I did all of these. It was the Broncos and Chargers who were fighting for that 7th seed in my playoff picture at 10-7. Came down to a division record with the Chargers having a 3-3 division record. Saying that, Broncos were my 8th seed in the AFC, missing out. I see so many games on here that I have them as a loss that can very well be a win and put them in that 7th seed to be that spoiler team to go into somebody else's house and ruin their day. If I don't believe in Bo Nix year 2, I believe in Sean Payton. If I don't believe in Justin Herbert, I believe in Jim Harbaugh. If I don't believe in Geno Smith, I believe in Pete Carroll to be a good transitional piece to put them in a position next 5-year plan to be in a position to contend for the division. It's going to be rough. It's going to be a rough road for the Raiders. They're not going to do well again this year. I think Pete Carroll is going for a Marshawn Lynch, Russ Wilson type look for this.
What, not handing the ball off at the 1-yard line?
Yeah. But, Geno Smith can throw a football through a keyhole. I mean, the dude is very accurate. He has all the tools, physical tools. His only issue is mental, going through his reads. So if Pete Carroll can get him on the same page as the offensive coordinator, and if they can get things going, I wouldn't be surprised if they could play upset at the end of the year to maybe knock somebody out of the playoffs. Let's say they play the Chargers, it looks like week 14, and then they play the Broncos week 13. So they could steal a win from somebody to make it a little bit difficult. But yeah, Chiefs all day long. I think Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes are too much to overcome.
I guess I'm the lonely wolf on this one because I got the Chargers winning. Even though I don't like Jim Harbaugh, but you got to respect what he do everywhere he go. He do win. He got Ohio State on this losing streak right now. Sure, Rich, don't even say nothing. But yeah,
4-0, 4-0.
Yeah, but I'm gonna go with it. I got the Chargers, man. Like he said, Kelsey on it down comes ever since he got with my girl Taylor Swift. That's what he get. But yeah, so yeah, I said it. All right, next division. Who gonna win the AFC South? Start with you.
Okay, yeah. Wow. This is going to be probably, I would say, the Texans. Yeah, I'm looking at the body of the work of what the Texans have done. At one point in time, I thought it was going to definitely be the Jaguars. I thought they had everything in place to be a very good team, and then they started off hot after that year they played in the playoffs, and then they kind of went downhill. And I don't know the deal. I don't know if Trevor Lawrence is he's struggling or what the case is. I just have to look at the Texans. I like what they have at quarterback. I think they have an excellent young quarterback. I think the coach is excellent as well. He's played in the league. I think he relates to the players. And I think this is their time that they're going to shine. The other teams in the division, I don't think they're going to be that great. to be honest with you. But I like what the Texans are doing. I think they're moving in the right direction, and they got a taste of the playoffs and what it's all about. And as a team, that's what it takes. Get that one taste of the playoffs, and you're gonna want to win it.
Uh-oh. He went out.
Let's just I guess maybe keep him running through maybe, and then hopefully he can get through, and then he'll finish us off or jump in whenever we're out, right?
Yeah, I think when he said the Jags, I think the Jags put a curse on them. So we're gonna blame that on the Jags. You know what? I'm gonna pick the Jaguars. I'm gonna pick the Jags. I just think this has to be the year that they do something. Long as Trevor Lawrence and everybody and ETN can stay healthy, I think they can. I think they can do their thing. I really do. And then they have a up and coming receiver, Brian Thomas. So I think I really think they can do something. I'm not counting the Texans, even though they boost up their run game, picking up Nick Chubb. So it's like that could be something. They could grab that too with him and Mixon. Stroud, we just got to see if he's just that real deal. Um, the Colts is interesting to see who they have at quarterback. That's going to be the interesting thing with the Colts. I think they have talent as well. They have good young talent, and the Titans. I mean, they just they the Titans. That Cam Ward and all them. And we'll just see what they can do. They got some talent there, but I just don't think they're ready. I think with Indy they have talent, but they don't have the right quarterback, especially if they have. And much as I want to root for Anthony Richardson, he's just not ready yet. He's just not ready. But the wide choice will be the Texans. But I'm gonna pick the Jags. I'm gonna pick the Jags. I'm gonna surprise people and pick the Jags.
Yeah, I'm going with the Texans too. I like their defense. I like Stroud. You know that Ohio State to Michigan connection. They look pretty smooth over there.
Detroit fan report. I'm just saying.
Hey, you got to call it like you see it, right? Like
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And Mixon had a good year. So, but the only thing is, man, they don't have Tunsil this year, and their offensive line was already. So I'm not gonna lie, if their offensive line does worry me a little bit.
Good on.
All right, I'll be real quick here because it looks like Mr. Kirkland has rejoined us, so I'm more interested in hearing his thoughts than my own. I'm going to go Texans. Yeah, I think this one's pretty easy. I feel like the Titans and the Jaguars are going to be fighting for the number one overall spot with the Browns and the Giants this year.
Texans. That's what I'm going with. CJ Stroud. That's my boy, bro. So, all right, Mr. Kirkland, guys, you can rejoin us. So, you know what I mean?
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yes, sir. All right, next division we're going to talk about is who wins the AFC North.
Ooh,
The Browns. We got 5 quarterbacks.
My old stomping grounds here. I first and foremost, the Cleveland Browns are they're a train wreck. They really are.
Love you, Natalie.
I think you definitely have got to have a great quarterback if you want to make it to the playoffs and go to the Super Bowl. Your quarterback has got to be on point. And I think at one point in time, you could not tell me, especially being a Clemson alum, that Deshaun Watson was not that guy. He was that guy. He really was. He was that dude, man.
Yes,
He
sir.
he was a player that when he's with the Texans, I mean, he was a problem. And, after all the scandal and everything that went on, just like most players, he fell off, maybe not, I won't say his confidence, but, being hurt and being injured. And then you go somewhere like Cleveland where it's not a lot of winning. And the worst place that you can lose is in a cold city place. If you had a team and it's just cold and you're losing, it is not great at
You ain't
all.
lying.
It is
Yeah,
miserable.
tell me
You
about
ain't
it.
never
So,
lying.
with the combination of being in Cleveland, the reputation of the Cleveland Browns, and all that, they're gonna probably suck. I mean, I know they got some buzz because of Sanders being there, but I don't know if he's gonna be enough. I don't know. The Pittsburgh Steelers, traditionally very good team. I am a ex Pittsburgh Steeler.
Mike Tomlin.
And you would think that I'll be a homer on this, but when it comes to football, I'm going to tell the truth. I'm just going to. Uh, I,
Lamar.
I don't know if Aaron Rodgers is going to be the guy, or I mean maybe they're doing some Jedi GMing that I don't know about, but it
You're
has
not
not
turning his
been
camera
good.
off.
It has not been good with the Pittsburgh Steelers. It just hasn't been. I mean, it's just what it is. Uh,
Agree.
if not now, if Aaron Rodgers could come in there and play pretty decently, they got a shot. They got a shot at maybe making the playoffs. I don't see this being a Super Bowl team, or I really don't know if they're going to win the division. Then we go to the teams that I think may have a chance. I think Cincinnati, they have on offense what you need to go to that next level. It's for them what are you doing on defense? And like I said before, I just think it's hard to play great defense. I just think it's hard. Back in my day, you could have a above average quarterback like a Neil O'Donnell, put a running game around him, put athletes around him, and the dude will win 12 games because he does just enough to win. But in these, in my son's NFL, because they say it's not your daddy's NFL. Well, my grandkids' NFL, my son's NFL is different. You got to have a good quarterback. So Cincinnati brings that, but I think the winner is going to be the Ravens. Um, Lamar Jackson is still that factor. They always seem to have a pretty good defense, even though, like I said before, I don't think defenses are as good, but they got some players, and Lamar Jackson is a factor. He's a Mike Vick kind of factor. So he's the kind of guy that is 3rd and 15 kind of guys you hate. If it's 3rd and 15, their odds of getting that first down is better than most teams. And he
Y'all laughed
brings
at me when
that
I picked him
factor
in the
in
first
there
round.
where you just say he doesn't throw the ball well, but he's proven that he throws the ball well. The guy's been MVP like 2 or 3 times, so he's there. It's just that they just haven't put it all together. They haven't really done well in the playoffs, but I see them winning the division.
You hear that, Steve?
I
Sorry,
do.
dog.
I do. I do.
Hear that? You hear that, Drew? You hear that, Ed? But go ahead, Steve.
Um, I'm a I'm gonna surprise some people, man. I'm gonna say the Bengals. I'm gonna say the Bengals. I just think Burrow is gonna be this is resurrection year. I think he's gonna be better. He has that offense. Um, have a little bit of a defense. I think that you had a dark down year last year, the injuries and stuff like that. But I think Chase and everybody is gonna go back to form. Even though to me, Jamar Chase was the best receiver in the league last year. To me, that's how I look at it. But um, even though with Baltimore, I think they're too run heavy. I think they rely too much on two guys and Jackson and Henry.
I don't think they gave him the ball enough. I
Hey,
don't think they get, especially in the playoffs.
hey, listen, hey, it happens. It happens. But I just think I think Baltimore is going to take a little bit of a decline this year, a little bit, and that's why I think Cincy is going to win it. Pittsburgh, there's always a Mike Tomlin effect. You know they're going to go to the playoffs in some way, shape, or form. He's a heck of a coach, one of the best coaches in the league. But, with Aaron Rodgers, you just never know. He already said this is going to be his last year, so he could go out in a bang, or we'll just see. And I'm with Mr. Kirkland. Cleveland is a dumpster fire right now. Even with the 5 quarterbacks they have, they basically saying eeny, meeny, miny, mo. That's what it is. They just picking. No Chubb, no run game, but
You got Jenkins from Ohio State.
no run game. But yeah, I'm gonna pick the Bengals though. I'm gonna pick the Bengals.
Rich.
So the only thing that I think is holding back the Bengals is their front office. They're a mess. They don't have the their defense wasn't that good this past year. Trey Hendrickson, they still ain't got that situation finalized. Their draft pick, another defensive end, Shamar Stewart, he went home because they're trying to do some shit that no other team does, putting language in the contract. I don't blame the young man for not signing it because they're basically wanting him, if he messes up or anything, taking all his money away. So, like Mr. Kirkland said, it goes from the top to the bottom. I think that's what's holding the Bengals back is the front office and the ownership. So, otherwise, I think they do got a good chance, but I think that's what's holding them back. So I'm just going to go with Baltimore.
Gridiron.
All right. So, like I said, much like the AFC West, this is a nice little competition we got going on between the Bengals, Ravens, and Steelers. I do have the Bengals winning the division just by a game. So, I mean, this could be anybody's division. I have the Steelers at 10-7, the Bengals at 11-6, and the Ravens at 10-7. People are raving about this Jair Alexander signing. It's great. It's fantastic. I don't know how many first-round picks we need to have on the Ravens defense for them to be top half of the league. I mean, last year their pass defense was, I believe, 30th, maybe 31st for a long time. However, they did pick it up at the end of the year. So, I mean, it is a what have you done for me lately league, and the Ravens have been better on defense. So Alexander is a nice addition, but I am also on the side of the Ravens taking a downfall this year. I just think that the Bengals offense is going to be too much. I think Chase Brown is going to have a great year, mainly because that box is not going to be filled. I mean, you got T. Higgins. Yoshi Voss last year had, I believe, 6 or maybe it was 8 touchdowns as a third wide receiver, which is insane. You don't see that around the league. I think the only other person to get more than that was Westbrook-Ikine with the Titans whenever him and Mason Rudolph went off for a couple of weeks there at the end of the season. I mean, they have it the whole way down. And this is the only reason Yoshi Voss is needed is because of Burton not performing to Zach Taylor's liking. So, I mean, if we get Trey Burton, I believe his name is, I know his last name is Burton, but if they get him to start moving the way that they want him to move in this offense, I mean, it could just go up and up and up. And you got Joe Burrow pleading his case for Mike Gesicki. I mean, to have an effective tight end along with those 3 guys, 6+ touchdown guys, that'll get you at least, Yoshi Voss on the low side of 50 catches and then upwards to 80 for T and then 100+ for Jamar. I mean, they're going to tire people out. People are going to have to cover way too much field. And, I mean, people are going to score against the Bengals. Don't get me wrong. They're going to have the craziest amount of points. If you want to go see points, go watch a Bengals game. But I think that they're going to come out on the plus side of these games a lot.
Yeah. That was a lot he just said, but I'm simply going to just say I think I had the Ravens winning. Lamar Jackson. Do anything. One time. to our special guest. Once again, I thank you for being here. And we're going to go to the NFC. Who do you think
Oh
who's going to win
boy.
the NFC?
You know, guys, you got to understand that I don't follow this stuff. You know, I don't really have facts or figures and all that stuff. So that's why probably most of my picks are going to be right because I don't overanalyze it. So what I'm gonna go here is wow. Could the Redskins could they possibly do it this year? Could they make a run? I'm gonna put the Redskins. It's just because I got a feeling. And the only thing I'm thinking about is a lot of times when you do win the Super Bowl, there is a little bit of a down year the next year for the team that won it. Not always. I mean, it doesn't always happen that way. But I'm going to give Washington. I'm going to give Washington. I'm going to say them. That surprised me. I know because I know most people are going to say Philly. Um, I I don't. I love the quarterback they have at Philly. He's a big time player, no question about it. But they have made some changes. We'll see how those changes go. But then New York and Dallas. I mean, Dallas, their fan base are going to tell you they're going to win the Super Bowl. This is their year, and it ends up not being their year. So I don't think Dallas. I think they're probably in third place. And then the Giants. The Giants do have a pretty decent defense, but I'm just wondering what they're going to do on offense. I have not been impressed in the last couple of years. Although they have gone to the playoffs, I just think that the the Commanders may surprise a lot of people and win this division.
Yeah, I'm the same. I'm the same way. I'm a pick the Commanders. I think with Jane Daniels, I think with the offense and then the guys that they brought in, I think it's just gonna make them better. Their defense was nice, well, besides the Philly game, but I think they're gonna do it. I think Philly with them, being the champs, I think they're gonna take a little bit of a decline because I think they're not gonna be used to people really hunting them. So that's gonna really be a lot on them. Um, Dallas and Dak, I don't trust. So I don't trust that. Giants, I think they have some talent there, like Wyatt, like Malik Neighbors. Um, guys, they have. I just don't think they have enough. I don't think they're ready. But yeah, I'm a pick the Commanders. Even though Philly won a Super Bowl, but I still think it's the Commanders' time to win that. I really do.
So I'm actually gonna. I think
You
it's gonna
better
be the
not do it.
Giants.
He
bet-
picking the Cowboys.
You better not do it.
No, I think it's gonna be the Giants, man. I like what they got at running back. They got a great defense. Uh, the players, anyways, right? I mean, they got talent all over the place, especially in that front seven. Um, and I love Malik Neighbors. You went and got Russell. You got Jameis and Jackson Dart. I called it before the draft. I thought he was the best quarterback in the draft.
They got him labeled right now as being the starter right now.
And I don't think he'll be the starter right away with them, with the other two in front of him. But in saying that, would I be surprised if he took over at some point in the year? I would not either. But that's going to be my dark horse, man. I'm going to go with the Giants.
All right. So this is again another close one. Commanders, Eagles, and Cowboys fighting it out. All three of these teams made the playoffs in my prediction. I have the Cowboys winning the division. I really do. I think
You Hoboken.
The only thing that they're missing is a solid running back. And if Devontae Williams can get his knee healthy, he's solid enough to be a nice piece in that offense. I know not a lot of people talk about Jaden Blue. I really like Jaden Blue as a pass catcher. I mean, I don't understand all the Dak hate. I really don't. I mean, the year that Lamar won his last MVP, Dak should have won that MVP. You can go back and compare stats.
Bullshit. A bullshit. A bullshit. Bullshit.
It was the same thing as this year with Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson, how Lamar clearly should have won this year over Josh Allen. It was the same kind of deal, how the stats were doing everything, but the media had a directive to push, right? I mean, the dude, they had 3 straight years of 12-5 before the dude tore his hamstring completely off of his ass. Excuse my language.
I don't give a fuck, Keisha.
But then
Just keep on with this cowboy bullshit. I got clips for days, bro.
people say the same thing. People say that, but then you got people praising Mike Tomlin for backing his way into the playoffs year in and year out.
I'm a peacock, Captain. You gotta let me fly on this one.
I mean, we have to look at it for what it is, right? New coach. Do I think they should have got rid of McCarthy? Maybe not for Schottenheimer, but he's been there before. He knows what goes on in Dallas. They added Pickens. I think Pickens has all the talent in the world. Dallas might be too much of a spotlight for him. I think he might flourish a little too much. But I expect that offense to be huge this year. And it just comes down to the divisions. Giants, I have them going 1-16, just mainly because they have 6 losses straight off the bat with all 3 of their division. So, I mean, go from there. But, yeah, I have to go Cowboys. I know not a lot of people are going to like it, but we got to call it what it is. They go 12-5 without a bona fide number 2 receiver and a 70-year-old Zeke. So, I mean, I wouldn't count this offensive team out, and I definitely wouldn't count out Eberflus on the defense. Just throwing that out there. That man is a heck of a D coordinator. We all saw what he did in Chicago. Not great, right? That's when he's a head coach. They got a lot more to deal with. I think this man will get that defense playing. Sorry about that.
So him and Steven saying the Cowboys going to make the playoffs. Like,
What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about it. Playoffs? You kidding me? Playoffs?
Cowboys ain't making the playoffs. I'm sorry. It's all messed up. But I got the Eagles, winning a division again and making it back to the playoffs and being a deep threat into the playoffs. So that's what I got to say about that. But, yeah, not the Cowboys, bro. Come on, pick. Next division. Yeah. I can't believe we really said the Cowboys. That's crazy. Who going to win the NFC West?
Oh boy, you guys would give me this one. This is a tough division. It has been always. The Cardinals, I'm not quite sure that they're playoff ready or divisional ready yet. They've been kind of at the bottom for a bit. The Seahawks, it'll be, it's different. They're going into a different era. Not sure where they are as far as the team is concerned. I thought Geno was a nice fit for him, but I didn't think he would ever get them over that hump, and he hasn't. So that leaves the Rams and the 49ers. Man, the 49ers, I'm going to pick the Rams this year. I think the Rams has a nice little team. They got the wide receivers. Is Stafford coming back or is he done? I'm not sure.
He's back. He's there.
Back.
He's bad.
Resign
Okay, so
with
he
him.
gives him a decent chance. So I'm going to pick the Rams. I know the 49ers have been winning their division for the last couple of years, but I think this time the Rams may put it all together.
They also added Devontae. Oh my God, Devontae
Devontae
Adams.
Adams.
Yeah, Devontae Adams. So wait until that man starts catching a ball out of somebody with a cannon like Stafford. I mean, he's been around Rodgers his whole career. Rodgers got the same thing, but just wait until he starts seeing Stafford start throwing the ball. Watch Adams go off again.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Rams as well. I think the 49ers lost too much firepower. I think they, and then the injury to McCaffrey last year, man. That's going to be a lot because you're going to ask a lot for him this season to run the ball, and then without Deebo Samuel, I mean that's going to be tough for him. That's tough. Seattle, of course, my man K9 over there, so I'm always root for him, but I think with different quarterback, different situations, I just don't think they're going to be ready. Even though I like their defense with Julian Love and Witherspoon and all them guys there, but I think they always going to be in games because of their defense. And I like the Cardinals. I do like the Cardinals. I think they got some good young talent there with McBride and Michael Wilson. I'm a big Michael Wilson fan. I think he can play. They got some talent in Kyler Murray, who always be running like a chicken with a head cut off every time I see him. Like he every time, I always call him a young Russell Wilson.
Oh my!
But man, it's always fun to see him running the football. But yeah, I'm like Mr. Kirkland, man. I'm with the Rams. Stafford and Vontae Adams, Cup and all them, man, and then Kyron Williams. And they got a nice defense with Jared Verse and all them. So I think it's their division. I really do.
All right. So I'm gonna keep it quick. The Rams are gonna win, right? But I do think that the Niners are gonna get back into the playoffs this year. They play teams like the Saints, the Jags, the Giants, the Panthers, Browns, Titans, Colts. So, I mean, there are a lot of teams on their schedule that are very easy wins for a Mike Shanahan led team. My bad. Yeah, going with his father. Wow, here we go. Right? So, a Kyle Shanahan led team. I do think that the Niners are going to surprise a lot of people. Their defense is not going to be what it was, but they did have the addition of Robert Saleh, and Robert Saleh is a great defensive coordinator, right? So I think he's going to get those boys playing. Niners will be a wild card, but the Rams, I think the Rams are going to be the number one seed in the NFC this year. I think they are set. That defense was giving the Eagles everything they handled last year in the playoffs. The Rams were 1, 2, 3 plays at most away from stealing that game away from the Eagles, and the Eagles tough of a time with the Chiefs, right? So the Rams gave the Eagles their best game in the playoffs last year. I think they're going to be the best team in the NFC this year. Rams, easy for me.
I'm going to go with my old quarterback, it's Stafford. So, Stafford, I feel like the San Francisco 49ers are going to be on a decline, even losing Debo. Christian McCaffrey still coming back from an injury. So, yeah, I think the Rams are going to win it, but look out for the Cardinals. I really believe when they got that boy Harrison from Ohio State and the connection he's going to have with, I got to go back there. Man, I made me think of the quarterback's name. What's the little dude that always playing Call of Duty?
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, baby.
Yeah, but yeah.
Nigga with his head cut off.
They going to make the playoffs, but I think the Rams.
He's a top 10 pick in 2 different sports. Come on now. Put some respect on him.
Second and last division is who you think gonna win the NFC South?
Yeah.
Oh my
use
God.
that one as a take, Mr. Kirkland. We got to use that as a take.
Ain't that the truth? That should be
God.
that should
I mean,
be
really, I don't really know. To be honest with you, last year they were all pretty much. Well, the Bucks were a decent team. Falcons, I think Falcons are a talented team. I just think that the Saints and the Panthers have a long way to go. Um,
Mhm.
I'm just gonna say the Falcons this year. I'm gonna flip an imaginary coin. Got it. Yeah, it's the Falcons. It's the Falcons. Yeah, they're gonna win it.
Mm.
And I like their color scheme.
I do too.
Steve.
I like what the Falcons are doing. I like that they're giving Penix a chance. Hopefully he does well, but I'm still rolling with Tampa, man. I think it's still their division. I think they the beast of the South, and it runs through them. I just think with Baker and Evans, Godwin, Bucky Irvin, and all them dudes, man, and they defense with Dean and David and Whitfield and all them, man. I just think it's theirs. I don't think Carolina. We gonna pray for them. We gonna pray for them and they $4 tickets that they sell for them games. But even though I don't mind going to them, and then the Saints. I don't know what's going on with the Saints. I don't know what's going on there. But I'm gonna say Tampa. It's still their division, and I just think it's just too much talent with Tampa. And plus, they need to go back to them creamsicle jerseys.
Ooh, yeah.
Every time they wear them, they lose.
I don't care.
Yeah, you're right.
I don't care. I still want to see
it.
Rich.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bucks. I like Penix in Atlanta, but the only thing what I seen from watching games just last year is when he threw to the left, he was good. When he threw to the right, he was awful. Like, I get he's left-handed, but in the NFL, if they know you can't throw to your right, you're in trouble.
That's what they say.
Gridiron.
All right. Cool. Yeah, so this one's easy. It's going to be the Bucks. I have them going 14-3. Their only losses are to the Eagles, the Niners, and the Rams. I think they're going to be a powerhouse. They play teams like the Panthers, twice, Dolphins, Saints twice, Cardinals, Patriots. They do play the Lions. I do have the Bucks beating the Lions in Detroit.
Bro.
Shout out Detroit Fan Report.
Cannot play with them. Cannot win with them. Cannot coach with them. Can't do it.
Hey, man, I got to call it how it is. I didn't even pick my Steelers to win my division, all right? I picked the Bengals. So I'm going to tell you how it goes. It's going to be the Bucks. Yeah, simple. I think it's so easy for them to get this one. I love Todd Bowles. I do not like Raheem Morris with the Falcons. I'm not a fan of his. I think he'll be replaced at the end of this season.
And to think I invite you on here to meet one of your great Pittsburgh Steelers, you're just gonna diss my Lions on here. That's crazy. But yeah, I got Tampa Bay winning this division. Not winning against the Lions though. You feel me? Especially. All right, we on to the last division. Like I said, I do appreciate you being on here. Really, I do. I honestly really do. Taking your time out of the day. But this division is the toughest division. You feel me? You are. I remember before you pick your pick, I want to remind you this is called Detroit Fan Report.
Once again,
who you got winning the NFC North?
Oh man, this is a very nice. I like this division. I like the football that's being played there, but I'm gonna cross out Chicago. I don't think they're going to win it yet. They're still
Fuck the Bears.
I like you even more. I like.
Yeah. Then I go over and I'm telling you, these some tough teams. It's a hard one to really pick. But I'm gonna have to go with Detroit Lions winning the division.
You my man. You can come on the show anytime you want.
Uh, well, I'm just picking them like I said, but like I said, I don't really follow football like this, where I know the ins and outs. But I think Detroit is just that one more step. They got that. They've been through the experiences of going to the going to the playoffs. They know what the playoffs is like. I love their culture. I love them going forward on fourth down. Not all the time, but I think he at least try to put his team in a winning situation. So I like Detroit and what they bring. But Green Bay and Minnesota, man, they're tough. I not quite liking the Minnesota quarterback. I think he kind of showed his true colors in the playoffs last year.
Oh,
But
he
they were
went
kind of
to
they were kind of one
He
and done.
gone.
he gone. They got that boy
He
from
got that
Michigan.
man, JJ
What's his
McCarthy.
name?
McCarthy.
JJ McCarthy or something like that.
Well, they're definitely doomed then. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
That rookie quarterback coming in.
Yeah, he didn't play
Nah.
last year, so basically this is his rookie year.
Oh, really? Well, whatever.
He was hurt last year.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He doesn't really bring a smile to my face. Let's put it that way. Green Bay is going to be tough.
I like you even more.
I like Green Bay. Green Bay is tough. I mean,
Uncle Kirkland right here.
if they will win it, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think Detroit's going to take it again.
Yes, sir. Bring.
First and foremost, I'm gonna say this. I like Mr. Kirkland's pick, and just for what he said, I'm a go get his jersey. I'm gonna make it known that I'm going to get your jersey.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
I'm gonna make it known. Now y'all know who I'm gonna pick.
You already know.
Forward down the field. Of course, I'm going with the Lions, man. Of course, but Bears. I hope they beat the Bears down to a pulp. I hope they beat the Packers to a pulp. I hope they beat the Vikings with a pulp.
My body's starting to
The
tighten.
Care Bears. Oh man. But the only team I'm really worried about in the division is the Green Bay Packers.
Why would you say that?
That's the only team I'm worried about. I'm not worried about the Vikings with JJ McCarthy, which reminds me, it's a shame that you charging people $250 for an autograph and you ain't played a game. That's crazy. That's insane. but yeah, I'm Caleb. It might be a bounce back year for Caleb. It may. He got Ben Johnson, so things might make a turn, but they still the Bears. He's still gonna get sacked about 100 times, and DJ Moore is gonna want out after this year because they're gonna be smothering him, and he got to get used to being the number one guy since Keenan Allen ain't there no more. So, and it's just add a lot of and then Rome Aduze, hopefully he get some fumbles against the Lions like he did the one game. So, but yeah, man, I of course I'm going with forward down the field, man. I got to go with golf and my Lions, man. I got to go with them.
So yeah, I'm going with the Lions. I think second place.
Down the field.
I'm going with the Vikings, man. I called it last year when everyone else said
God,
that the
you on the
Vikings were going to be
JJ
the.
McCarthy train, bro. Stop it, bro.
Like
It's
I
gonna be a
said,
down season for the Vikings with him behind the center. I'm just saying.
I said it last year when everyone said the Vikings were going to be the last in the division, and I said no. And look at what happened.
You thought JJ was gonna start too.
Anyways, like I said,
He would have. He would have.
JJ.
For yourself.
No, when he made that prediction, he thought JJ was gonna start. He didn't know about Sam Darnold. That's all I was saying.
JJ No, I knew he wouldn't start. He was a rookie, man. But anyways, like I said, JJ has been winner wherever he's gone. That's all he's ever done is win. I think he's only had 3 losses, 2 or 3 losses since high school. I obviously know he's going to have more than NFL. I'm not blind to the fact, but I'm just trying to say that the kid who wins, he'll do whatever it takes for them to win. And they got Justin Jefferson. I like their defense. I think they'll finish second, followed by the Packers, and then the Bears.
All right, man. I can't wait to make some people upset. Here we go. All right, so this is the most.
Picking the Bears.
This is the most fun that I have had in a long time running down all these games with this division. I mean, it is the closest division that I've had in so long. I mean, their divisional records. Nobody has better than a 4-2, 3-3, 3-3, 4-2, 4-2, 3-3. It's like, it's insane, right? This division is loaded. This division plays crazy good football. Everybody loves the NFC North, right? So with that being said, I think there are a lot of storylines in this division. The Ben Johnson to Chicago, the McCarthy. Is he going to be able to do it in Minnesota? I think yes. If it's not because of McCarthy, it's going to be because of Kevin O'Connell. That man can scheme open a turtle. I swear to God. He can get Mercedes Lewis wide open right now. Promise you. Kevin O'Connell's a great coach. Love the offensive mind. I think the Bears go into Detroit and beat the Lions in week 2.
Oh, now you can't speak English.
Mm-hmm.
What?
I think Ben Johnson goes in and has his guys ready to play and takes Detroit by surprise.
The show goes on.
With that being said, the division was tied at the end. It came down to a divisional record. 4-2 being the best divisional record in this division. With the division, I had the Lions winning the division. And I also had the Vikings at 2.
You can start with that. Have me do all them. Like, you can start with that.
Because I wanted to get you guys going, right? So we got the Lions at 10-7, the Vikings at 10-7. However, I think the Lions, just with Dan Campbell, the whole grit, the whole way that he approaches his team, I think he's going to get those division wins, right? They're going to have the best division record. That's going to put them over the top to get them where they need to be. And I have the Lions winning the division. It's close, 10-7, 10-7. And then I've got the Bears and the Packers both at 9-8. I mean, everybody's got a winning record. It is ridiculously close. The Lions are going to do it, though, just because they know how to do it and they know what to do.
What a throw.
Now you got to ask me. Where's that? Y'all know we're going to win this game. All right, but anyways, once again, I'd like to appreciate and thank you so much for coming on here.
No problem.
All right, wrong person. That's not me.
No, that's you, brother.
I know. I'm trying to think straight.
That's you, brother.
Hey, it's hard to host a show, doing editing, recording, doing modification.
Yeah, there.
So, I made a mistake. I apologize, but yes, I appreciate you so much for coming on, man. It was a pleasure.
No problem.
Appreciate you, Steve, man, for getting contacted, making this all happen, man.
Absolutely. It all goes to Mr. Kirkland, man. Everything goes to Mr. Kirkland.
Yes,
My
sir.
honor. It is my honor to be on the show. Next time I want a little bit of cash, but right now, it's my honor.
I will say.
Oh, you want an NIL deal?
You take food stamps?
We gonna work on that, Mr. Kirkland. We gonna
You take food stamps?
Cool.
You take food stamps?
It's under $600, so I want to take taxes on it.
We rolling on the Trump deal. We rolling on a Trump deal.
Okay,
if you take food stamps, I got you. I swear to God, I'll send it to you right now.
Hey,
I'll be waiting on
Mr.
it.
Kirkland, I just wanted to say on behalf of all Steelers fans, thank you very much. We appreciate you and everything that you've done.
Thank you.
And like I said, although I didn't get a chance to watch you, I feel I did get a chance to watch the end of Bill Cowher and his career, so I did kind of see a glimpse into maybe what you had to deal with. Probably not as bad. As you get a little bit older, they get a little bit nicer. But I just want to say thank you. As Steeler fans, I can just imagine the adrenaline you guys get when this place goes nuts. But I mean, just talking about it, I get goosebumps. So thank you. Thank you for being here. But more importantly, thank you for putting your body on the line every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, whenever you have played. Thank you very much. We appreciate it as fans. I appreciate
no problem, guys. Y'all take care. Thank you. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you,
Thank
Mr.
you.
Kirk.
Gotta have you back, sir.
Yeah.
Gotta have you
Y'all
back.
be good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Chris, man. I'm gonna let you
Sorry,
head it out.
I literally had to go get a room at a hotel with my daughter so that way we could survive the heat. So, and my phone died. So sorry, guys.
We thought you took a long bathroom break.
Hey, he said he was 54 years old. He done took a nap.
It's funny because
a bullshit.
It's funny. It's funny because the phone died, and I went to the stairs and I looked at the top of the stairs, and my daughter was sitting there like this, and I was like, "Well, do you want to go to a hotel now?" And she's like, "Well, if you want to," and I was like, "You know, you want to go." I was like, "Fine, we gone."
All right, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate our special guest. You feel me? Steve, you know, I appreciate you, man, so much, man. You feel me, for making this happen.
Yeah, appreciate you, Bree.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
you feel me? Like,
Yes, sir.
Yes, Steve, appreciate it. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Appreciate y'all, man.
Hey, I done changed his name. It ain't Bree no more. It's Waldo.
Black Waldo.
Hey,
I take that.
hey, guys, real quick. Do you guys remember a player by the name of Eric Fowler? He used to play for the Lions.
Yes.
Who?
Yes.
Fowler?
Eric Fowler.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
I remember.
My attorney that I work with went to school with the guy, and he's on first name basis with him. So I already asked him, hey, do you think he'd mind coming on our show? He goes, absolutely, he'd love it. I was like, so I just have to get to know my new attorney. He just got here, so maybe we can. And my attorney was actually scouted too. He told me today. I was very surprised. So that's So maybe some more people.
Hey, we got big things in the works over here.
Yeah,
we got big things over here in the work from our Detroit Family Report. Like I said, Steve, I thank you. Gridiron, I thank you. Chris, Rich, Scott, Tori, Ed, Andrew, Dede, the whole gang.
Bandit, thank you. Bandit, thank you. Subscribe.
Yep.
Mr. Bandit, I just want to say thank you, my brother. On behalf of all of us, we want to say thank you.
Yep,
Bro,
thank you.
You already know we
Hey,
family over here, bro.
that bastard not bad for an Ohio State fan, you hear?
Right.
I was adopted. You feel me? Say no, just playing. I appreciate everybody that watched, man, tonight, man. I appreciate our guests again. You feel me? Like, it was a blessing to do this. You feel me, y'all? Like, I really do. Like, but before we head out, man, y'all know what we do before we head out. We'll let y'all know. I gotta promote a little bit. Wednesdays, hopefully tomorrow 10 o'clock. Sky, Tori, LFR Lions Fan Report. You feel me? Make sure y'all come check us out 10 o'clock right here at Detroit Fan Report. Fridays, we got Detroit. What up, though? When we go over all Detroit, the hottest topics of Detroit sports, that's Lions, Tigers, Pistons, and Red Wings. You feel me? Even a little bit of Michigan. Even though they ain't hot. Chris, let them know about the baseball show before we head out.
On Saturday, we do. It's me, Rich, Mike from a time to time. Rux is back, and Bandit. We all talk about Tigers baseball and the number one team in the league. So come join us.
Rep Detroit.
And they up 7-4 right now, bottom of the
7-4. You feel me?
I haven't even had a chance to look. Wow.
Perez threw out two guys trying to go into doubles in the top of the 7th inning.
That's
Right
crazy.
field.
Yes.
Yeah.
He threw out Soderstrom and Jacob Wilson.
Jacob Wilson, that's good.
Keep on the lookout. We might have Detroit Red Wings
draft. We
night.
might do a draft show. We might do a draft
show.
Yeah.
And we might do a Pistons review of the draft. They coming up in the offseason move. So look on the show for that. You feel me? Right here on Detroit Fan Report. Also, look going forward. We're coming to a Big Ten college football show too. I'm trying to get in the works with working with former running back, Ohio State running back Darren Herring. You come on there. A couple other guests, you feel me? I've been in the works with. So we're doing big things over at Detroit Fan Report. Do us a favor, like I said, always hit that subscribe button, Detroit Fan Report on YouTube. You feel me? We appreciate everybody that's watching, man. We wouldn't be doing this for y'all. We wouldn't be doing this without y'all. You feel me? And we did hit our goal of 500 subscribers. So Friday on this episode of Detroit What Up, Though, please check in because if your name get called for the jersey and if you do not respond, we will be going to the next person. You feel me? So we will be giving out a Lions, Pistons, Red Wings, or Tigers jerseys until somebody claim it. So make sure y'all check in with that, man. Do anybody got anything else to say on this great day? You feel me?
Just happy to be here. Thankful for all y'all. Thankful for Mr. Kirkland for joining in again.
Yep.
Thankful. Just thankful. I mean, this was a cool experience for me. I hope it was a cool experience for everybody that was listening. Chris, hell of a dedication. I mean, you're in your car right now because life happens and you're still here, right? So
that's Paul.
That's my guy, Chris. Everybody go follow him. Crazy hockey fan. Everybody follow Detroit Fan Report. Everybody follow Rich at Riggs 928. Everybody follow everybody, right? Because that's what we
Steve New Breed. He doing the outro. He ready to go home and go. He ready to go to sleep. He say, "Fuck everybody doing it. I'm gonna do it for y'all."
No, everybody's gonna do it yourself. I'm just saying, like, spread the love. I'm just thankful, man. I'm just thankful to have these people. Thankful to have this group. Thankful to have this platform. Just thankful to be able to watch football, right? Because a lot of people, people can't see, people can't hear, people can't watch football, right? No matter what it is, right? So I'm just thankful to be here, thankful to be able to watch football. And I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Appreciate you.
He didn't let everybody know where they can find us at. With that said, man, this is Detroit Fan Report. Make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. You feel me? I think I'm gonna be giving out something when we hit the 700 mark. I don't know. I figure something out. Some more giveaways, but make sure you're tuning to Detroit What Up, Though Friday to see who win that sweepstakes. With that said, hit that subscribe button and we out. Peace.